Taurus, one of the 10 best cars in the world. Crown Victoria, full-size value leader. Escort, world's best-selling car. Festiva, over 90% customer satisfaction. Tempo, mid-size value leader.
Hi, I'm Nancy Rice.
And I'm Jim Hale. Welcome to Competition Today.
It's the program dedicated to bringing you up-to-date information and insight into today's highly competitive world of car and truck sales.
That's right, Nancy. And besides this tape and the 3 other tapes in this series, our viewers will receive extensive companion information. All of the materials are designed to help increase your competitive product knowledge and to increase your awareness of specific Ford product features and benefits to demonstrate and sell. In short, these easy-to-use materials are designed to help increase your overall sales effectiveness now and in the months to come.
Ford's the leader in a car and truck marketplace that is more competitive than ever. They're currently leading in 9 of 14 market segments with hard-won sales success based on continuous improvement in product quality, a long line of technical innovations, and the implementation of preferred equipment packages that offer tremendous value to the consumer. A great deal of Ford's success is also because of the efforts of you, our audience, the team of quality sales professionals found in Ford dealerships throughout North America.
That's true. Ford and Ford retail salespeople have certainly compiled an impressive list of accomplishments. And you mentioned an increasingly competitive market. It sure is.
That means more choices for the public and an even greater need for salespeople to know not only their own product, but to know the competition as well.
So, Nancy, speaking of competition, what's up on this issue of Competition Today?
Well, today we'll look at the key competitors that face off against the 1989 LTD Crown Victoria, Escort, Festiva, Tempo, and coming up in just a moment, America's best-selling midsize automobile, Taurus.
And we'll do that right after this question.
How many Ford Taurus units have been sold since its introduction on December 26, 1985?
Well, Nancy, do you know how many Taurus units have been sold since its introduction?
I sure do. Since introduction through December 1st of 1988, Ford has sold close to 1 million Taurus sedans and wagons.
That's right, Nancy. And for the 1988 model year, Taurus was the #2 best-selling car in America, finishing only behind Escort, the 3rd time for this achievement. But 1989 is going to be an extremely competitive year. General Motors, Chrysler, and the imports have all trained their sights on Ford, and specifically on Taurus.
There are a lot of models out there.
And more coming.
Let's talk to Diane Jones about Taurus and its competition.
Diane, isn't the primary competition Honda Accord?
Well, Nancy, Celebrity and Cutlass Sierra are considered primary competitors. And Jim, you're asking about the Accord is right on the mark. Let's take a look. Honda Accord is a strong competitor to the Taurus. In fact, it came within just over 5,000 units of outselling Taurus during the '88 model year. Now, make no mistake, Honda builds a good automobile, and the Accord is a strong example. This is Honda's 1989 Accord LX sedan. The LX sedan is the best-selling Accord model. It uses an inline 4-cylinder single overhead cam engine with a 2-barrel carburetor. It puts out 98 horsepower at 5,500 RPM and 109 foot-pounds of torque. The carburetor may be somewhat old-fashioned technology, but the engine's smooth and responsive. And that's a good thing, since it's also the only available engine on the LX. Taurus GL, as most of you know, offers 3 engine choices: the standard 2.5-liter, the optional 3.8-liter, and the optional 3-liter V6, like we have here. Now, the 3-liter puts out 140 horsepower. That's 42 more than Accord. Plus, it supplies over 30% more torque. Taurus and Accord both deliver good fuel economy. The Accord's estimated EPA ratings are 23 miles per gallon city and 30 highway when equipped with the automatic overdrive transaxle. The Taurus GL, however, delivers comparable mileage when equipped with the 3-liter engine and with the automatic overdrive transaxle. Now, how a car looks, of course, is subjective, but I think it's fair to say that the Taurus shape is much more distinctive on the road. The Accord has a substantial edge and turning diameter. Its wheelbase is almost 4 inches shorter than the Taurus and 3 inches narrower. But the extra Taurus width and the split bench seating permits comfortable seating for 6. Accord seats only 5. And talking about seating, Taurus has real advantages in interior room, more headroom, shoulder room, and leg room. In fact, Taurus has a full 11 cubic feet of passenger room volume more than Accord. Now that's this much room that'll really be appreciated by American buyers, like the 5 extra inches of rear leg room. Now, the Accord's trunk is nicely finished, as is the GL's, but the Accord doesn't have the standard cargo net, or the 2 covered storage compartments, or the space. In fact, the Taurus trunk is a full 3 cubic feet larger in cargo volume. Now, Jim and Nancy, that's quite a difference, isn't it?
Diane, I know they're both good cars, but I'm amazed at how much more room and cargo space the Taurus has.
Well, you see, Taurus is classified by EPA as a midsize, while Accord's classified as a compact. But they're both priced closely, both have high levels of features and trim, and both are well-made automobiles.
Okay, thanks, Diane. Jim, since Accord's the car that many people probably consider along with Taurus, what about value?
Well, I think most car buyers would say value is getting the best car for the money. Taurus and Accord both meet the criteria pretty well.
Well, are you saying there's no difference?
Oh, no, there are some substantial differences, and not the least of which is how well the automotive press has received Taurus. Take a look. Car and Driver's 10 best cars in the world, 1986, 1987, 1988, and 1989.
Yes, but wasn't Accord on those lists too?
Well, yes, it was, but here in the December '87 issue, Road and Track picked Taurus as the best sedan in the world in the $12,500 to $17,500 range. And they selected Taurus over the Accord. Motor Trend's November '88 issue picked Taurus as the best buy among family sedans. And again, Taurus was selected over Accord. And in this August '88 issue, Car and Driver also selected a Taurus L, equipped with the optional 3-liter engine, as the one best car for under $14,000. Again, Taurus was chosen over Accord and 8 other cars. Besides being the overall winner, it won outright in categories such as ride, comfort, utility, styling, ergonomics, handling, and value. Take a look at what Taurus GL with the 204A package and a 3-liter engine offers compared with Honda Accord.
Well, they're both very well equipped, but what about money?
Take a look.
They're about the same cost.
Accord is smaller in size and power, and remember, the GL with the 204A PEP includes a 6-way power driver's seat. You can't get that on Accord, even as an option. And Nancy, Honda doesn't even offer an Accord wagon.
Well, is there a warranty advantage?
Accord's has a 3-year, 36,000-mile basic warranty on virtually the entire car. Taurus has the 6-year, 60,000-mile powertrain and the 100,000 corrosion warranty. Both are excellent limited warranties. But clearly, Taurus offers the longer powertrain protection.
All right, but what about resale? I know that's something that Honda salespeople stress.
Well, you might be interested in knowing that Taurus has held its resale value almost as well as Accord. The difference is only $275. These figures are based on base MSRPs and could differ based on equipment options and packages selected.
And that brings us to our next competition today question. After that, we'll have a look at Ford's big car for 1989.
What was the first full-size sedan to offer multiple port fuel injection, and when?
Welcome back. Well, Jim, did you know the answer to the question?
Was it LTD Crown Victoria?
Yes, and that was back in 1986.
You seem pretty knowledgeable on the LTD Crown Victoria.
Well, my dad's owned Crown Vics for as long as I can remember, so I guess you can say that I'm familiar with them.
What about the 1989 LTD Crown Victoria? Is the Chevy Caprice still the primary competition there?
Yes, the Caprice is still a primary competitor, but last year the large car retail sales volume leader was the Oldsmobile 88. You can see the full details of how Caprice compares to Crown Vic in the print competitive comparison materials. But for now, let's see how the Olds 88 stacks up to Crown Vic. For 89, the Delta nameplate has gone away, so it's now available as either the 88 Royale or the 88 Royale Brome.
Okay, now how does the 89 LTD Crown Victoria match up against the Olds 88?
It has a standard V6, while the Crown Vic still has its traditional and powerful V8. And while the Olds gets 15 more horses out of theirs, the Crown Vic has more torque for more pulling power. That's what's important. And so is Crown Vic's rear-wheel drive, because as you know, when they downsized the Olds in '86, they made it front-wheel drive. You know, my dad tows a boat, and he says that rear-wheel drive is really the best for towing. Actually, the 89 Crown Vic has the highest available trailer towing capacity in a full-size sedan. Oh, and 15-inch wheels and white sidewalls are standard on the Ford, but Olds makes you pay extra for that. Big car buyers want room, interior room, cargo room. The Crown Vic's got 3 cubic feet more interior room and 37% more trunk space than Olds. Crown Vic has the largest trunk of any regular production car, excluding other Ford Motor Company vehicles.
Yes, but doesn't the Oldsmobile downsizing have some advantages, like maneuverability, for instance?
The 1989 LTD Crown Victoria has a 3.5-inch longer wheelbase than the Olds 88 and a 2-inch wider tread, yet its turning diameter is slightly less than the Olds. For more details, see your print competitive comparison materials. You'll find extensive information on LTD Crown Victoria's competition.
You know, it's amazing how automobile manufacturers are able to better and better define their potential prospects. It's also a good thing that they can do it because these market segments are unbelievably competitive already, and it's going to get tougher. We'll take a look at that as we move from big cars to little cars, right after this Competition Today question.
Who engineered the Ford Festiva?
Okay, who did engineer the Ford Festiva?
Well, since it's manufactured in Korea by Kia, you might assume that's where it was engineered. However, Ford went to Mazda for their expertise in small car engineering. Did you follow that?
I sure did. In fact, I followed one into the parking lot the other day. It's so different. It really caught my attention. You know, and I took a peek inside, and I was amazed at how much room there is in it.
It is roomy. The EPA interior volume is greater than Toyota Corolla, Honda Civic hatchback, Subaru Justy, and others. For its exterior dimensions, it's the roomiest car in the B class.
B class?
That's right, B class. They're the smaller, least expensive entries in the small car segment. They typically have an overall length of 148 inches or less, and passenger volume of 85 cubic feet or less, and carry a base sticker price of around $6,000. Cars like Escort are C-class members of the small cars segment, but the B-class is where the competition's been growing. Here, let me give you an example. Back in 1983, not all that long ago, there were only a couple of B-class cars vying for sales. By 1987, there were 14 B-class cars competing, and by 1990, it's anticipated there could be 20 or more. And besides the number of entries, the amount of market share these cars take has grown. In 1986, the B-class comprised about 5% of total small car sales. But by 1987, that rate had grown to about 20%. And it's possible that by 1990, these smaller cars could account for up to 40% of all small car sales. So you can see why a car like Festiva is so important.
With all of the competition, is there one car that is the primary competition to Festiva? Is it Hyundai?
Well, yes, it is, as a matter of fact. And actually, Hyundai is also a primary competitor to Escort as well. You see, the B-class and C-class cars often overlap as selections for the small car buyer. And because the Hyundai Excel's price begins about where many B-class cars are positioned, but offers size more comparable to many C-class cars, it really does compete in both groups. Let's take a closer look and ask Kurt Miner to give us some Hyundai information. Kurt?
Hi, Jim. Nancy? Well, you're right. The Hyundai Excel is a primary competitor, and Hyundai is formidable competition. For example, even though they don't yet have a national distribution system and lack dealerships in many major and mid-sized U.S. cities, they've managed to be the 6th best-selling car in the '88 model year. And they were the best-selling single-import nameplate to boot. Over 270,000 Hyundais were sold in the '88 model year. When they come into an area, their impact is felt by almost every dealership. You see, they've only had one line to sell, so when they come to play, they really play hardball. Now, Hyundai dealers often advertise the base XL with a very low MSRP price point of about $54.99. But in reality, they only sell a very small percentage of base models. Most of their sales are of the GL, GLS, and GS models. So for comparison purposes, we'll use the 1989 Hyundai XL GL two-door hatchback. This XL GL's wheelbase is about 3 inches longer than the Festiva, but the XL's overall length is about 20 inches longer. However, Festiva has about the same track, height, and body width as the Hyundai. Yet because of Ford's thoughtful and ergonomic design, the Festiva offers an EPA interior passenger volume of 87 cubic feet, while the XL GL offers 82, making Festiva's interior volume larger. And Festiva's turning diameter is almost 5 feet less than the Hyundai's, making it easier to maneuver. 1989 Hyundai XL GL and '89 Ford Festiva L Plus with the PEP 383A both carry an extensive list of features. But Festiva offers more. And Festiva also gets much better EPA estimated fuel economy than the XL. So while the XL is a reasonably attractive car with a good-looking interior and a slightly larger engine, it doesn't match the features, fuel economy, or value of Festiva. And Hyundai certainly doesn't fare any better against Escort. Escort LX, with the preferred equipment package, offers a high level of features and value. Hyundai's XL advertises a high level of features and a low price. But let's see what Hyundai really offers. Hyundai advertises their standard model at $54.99. But let's assume that you're an Escort prospect who might be looking at Hyundai, and you want 4 doors and an automatic. But you can't get a 4-door hatchback on the base XL, and you can't get an automatic either. You've got to go to the XL GL model, which is $1,450 more. Add an automatic at $485. Now you're at $7,434. Now, want an AM/FM stereo? Well, that's another $295. Power steering, that's $260. A passive restraint system like Escort's standard system, add another $75. Your total price, including destination and delivery charges? Well, the car you needed really doesn't sell for $54.99 at all, but instead costs $8,339, almost $3,000 more. And there's lots that you can't get on Hyundai at any price. The XL's 1.5-liter engine is smaller than Escort's 1.9-liter engine. So, with Hyundai, you get less power, smaller wheels, and smaller tires, less passenger room, less cargo room. Now, the XL GL may be a little less money, but then it's a little less car. Now, make that a lot less car. And should it be necessary, service is available at over 4,600 Ford dealerships. As of November '88, that's 4,475 more dealers than Hyundai has. So while Hyundai is certainly strong competition, remember that both Festiva and Escort can easily cut the Hyundai XL down to size. And with that, back to you, Jim and Nancy.
Thanks, Kurt. Nice job.
You know, Nancy, both Festiva and Escort are certainly important to Ford, aren't they?
They sure are, Jim. Remember, Festiva is drawing new prospects to your showrooms, and Escort's been the world's best-selling nameplate for the last 6 years in a row. That kind of leadership is important to draw in buyers for all kinds of cars and trucks.
Right now, let's break away for a Competition Today question.
What Ford automobile landed on the 1988 model year's 10 best-selling list by jumping 3 positions?
As you know, the 1988 Tempo was substantially freshened, and Tempo's quality has improved over the years. In fact, the answer to our question is, of course, Tempo.
Well, Ford is committed to the philosophy of continuous improvement on all their cars and trucks. And Tempo is an outstanding example of that philosophy.
So who are the strongest competitors? Traditionally, in the terms of size and price, Cavalier has been the main competition. But recently, Corsica and Beretta have been the top-selling mid-sizes for Chevrolet. Remember, since Chevy counts Beretta and Corsica as one combined vehicle, they outsold Tempo for the '88 model year. Corsica and Beretta were designs that GM felt would be perceived as stylish and aerodynamic. But Jim, there's something that you may not know. Even while Chevy's been touting Corsica and Beretta as new cars, they're old technology underneath.
What do you mean, old?
Well, a road and track analysis of a 1988 Beretta GT compares it to one of Chevy's old X cars, the Chevrolet Citation X11. The suspensions are virtually identical.
An X car, hmm? Well, what about now? What does Tempo have to counter the 1989 heartbeat?
Chevrolet, as with all GM's car lines, now uses equipment packages following Ford's leadership in this area. For example, let's put the Tempo GL with preferred equipment package 226A against the Corsica with their option package number 2. Corsica's standard 2-liter engine is less powerful than Tempo's 2.3-liter, and this 226A Tempo includes features that are extra cost or not even available on this Corsica, such as power door locks, rear window defroster, dual electric remote control mirrors, and Tempo's motorized automatic restraint system.
So in terms of Tempo advantages, there's the larger engine and features that are extra cost or not even available on the Corsica. Is that the complete list of Tempo's advantages?
Not quite. There's one more advantage, and it's called value. The 1989 Tempo GL with PEP 226A compared to a 1989 comparably equipped Corsica with their number 2 option package has a sticker price advantage of $985. Now that's real value.
And of course, Tempo offers an all-wheel drive model, and Corsica doesn't. Tempo also offers an optional driver's side airbag supplemental restraint system, and Corsica doesn't. Tempo has 4-wheel, fully independent suspension, while Corsica's rear suspension is only semi-independent. So you can see, Tempo has many advantages over the Corsica.
Well, Jim, all Ford vehicles have significant advantages over their competition. That's why the extensive print comparisons will help answer customer objections and close sales. And speaking of closing, that's a wrap for today. Our thanks to you for your exemplary efforts in representing Ford. We'll look for you soon on the next edition of Competition Today.
Bye for now.